Australia, the largest country in Oceania and the sixth largest globally, often captures imaginations with its pristine air, breathtaking landscapes, and 4 distinct seasons. Yet, is Australia truly the idyllic paradise it appears to be? The answer is nuanced. One notable aspect worth considering is Australia's geographical isolation. Situated far from major global hubs in Europe and North America, Australia faces unique challenges in travel, trade, and cultural exchange due to its southern hemisphere location. Despite these challenges, Australia has leveraged its isolation to develop a resilient economy and extensive trade networks worldwide. Technological advancements and improved transportation have facilitated increased global connectivity, evidenced by the growing number of Australians traveling internationally, from 2 million to 8 million annually. While some may perceive isolation as a barrier, Australia remains actively engaged in the global community through robust communication channels, trade agreements, and international travel. This connectivity not only supports Australia's economic vitality, but also enhances cultural exchange and diplomatic relations on a global scale. Moreover, Australia's geographic isolation has proven advantageous in managing security and health crises, such as the successful containment of the COVID-19 outbreak in 2020. Surrounded by vast oceans, Australia effectively secured its borders, demonstrating its capability to respond swiftly to international challenges. In conclusion, while Australia's geographical remoteness presents logistical hurdles, it also fosters resilience, global engagement, and effective border management. It's this balance that contributes to Australia's unique position in the world today. Choosing to settle in Australia means embracing a high cost of living, despite the allure of high wages. Ranked among the top 10 most expensive countries globally, Australia's expenses extend well beyond steep housing costs. For individuals, basic living expenses can tally around $20,000 annually, while families may need over $50,000 to sustain themselves comfortably. These figures vary based on location and exclude additional costs for leisure activities, healthcare, or emergencies not covered by insurance. Travel within Australia, whether for business or pleasure, also comes at a premium. From hotels to flights, car rentals to train journeys, and even cruises, Australia's reputation for expense is well earned. Air travel, in particular, can be notably pricey, exacerbated by limited competition among domestic airlines. The pandemic has certainly exacerbated these costs, but the core issue lies in the domestic airline market's lack of competition. With few carriers to choose from, passengers face limited options, while airlines face reduced pressure to lower fares. Despite these challenges, Australia remains a desirable destination, offering a high standard of living, robust employment opportunities, and a vibrant cultural landscape. Understanding and preparing for these financial realities can ensure a rewarding experience for those choosing to call Australia home. Living in Australia comes with its own set of challenges, particularly when it comes to housing costs. The property market in Australia is among the most expensive globally. Cities like Sydney, Auckland, and Melbourne frequently rank among the least affordable housing markets in the world, alongside several cities in the United States, Asia, and Canada. For instance, the average price of a house in Sydney can reach up to $250,000, making home ownership a daunting prospect for many Australians. What causes this steep cost? Over the past 2 decades, Australia's population has surged by more than 30%, now standing at 26 million. This population boom is largely driven by increased immigration since the mid-2000s. However, the pace of housing construction has failed to keep up with this rapid population growth. Despite being the 6th largest country in the world, Australia faces significant challenges in providing ample and affordable housing. The primary issue is the scarcity of suitable land for housing development, which drives up prices. Additionally, global shortages of building materials have increased construction costs, and there is also a significant labor shortage in the housing sector. Interest rates and taxes further exacerbate the housing affordability crisis. Young households and low-income earners are particularly hard hit. Without financial assistance from parents or grandparents, it typically takes about 11 years to save enough for a down payment on a house. For those living in Sydney and earning an average wage, this saving period can extend to nearly 16 years, and even then, it requires considerable effort and sacrifice. Racism is not only a problem faced by Aboriginal communities, but also by the Torres Strait Islanders and people from diverse cultural backgrounds. For example, people of Asian descent in Australia experience severe racism, and the incidence of such discrimination is on the rise. They are frequently treated with hostility, as if they are inferior or not respected. They are often ignored, insulted, harassed, stereotyped, or discriminated against with unfair assumptions made about them. As mentioned earlier, they face criminalization, police brutality, excessive detention, and systemic injustice. Over the past decade, racist incidents have been reported across almost all sectors of Australian society, from everyday environments like public transportation to critical institutions such as education and healthcare services. Racial discrimination based on religion and culture is a significant and widespread issue. It manifests not only subtly or covertly, but also overtly in everyday public settings and institutions. According to a report, out of 600 Muslims surveyed in Sydney, 57% reported experiencing racism, such as bans on burqas in public spaces or negative comments in Parliament. In Australia, the Indigenous Aboriginal communities, the original inhabitants of the land for over 50,000 years, today make up just 3% of the population. Despite legal protections and the abolishment of discriminatory laws, their reality paints a stark contrast. Aboriginal Australians often endure low-wage jobs in substandard housing, particularly in rural areas where essential services like clean water and healthcare are insufficient. Discrimination in employment remains prevalent, affecting both pay and working conditions. While Australia boasts a renowned educational system, educational attainment within Aboriginal communities lags behind national averages. High school and university graduation rates are notably lower, perpetuating socioeconomic disparities. Unemployment rates among Aboriginal people are alarmingly high, particularly in smaller communities, contributing to widespread disenchantment. Moreover, incarceration rates disproportionately affect Aboriginal individuals, often for minor offenses like public intoxication, highlighting systemic issues in law enforcement. Since the mid-19th century, Aboriginal communities have faced cultural isolation due to policies that forcibly removed them from their lands and restricted access to employment and education. Introductions of alcohol and drugs further exacerbated these challenges. Australia is renowned for its stunning landscapes and unique wildlife, but settling here comes with its own set of hazards. Perhaps most famously, Australia has earned a reputation for its venomous and deadly animals, leading to the myth that surviving to adulthood here is a miracle. Contrary to popular belief, however, fatal encounters with wildlife are relatively rare. Over the past decade, confirmed animal-related deaths in Australia totaled over 500. While one might expect snakes, spiders, or even sharks to top the list, the reality is different. Shark attacks, though more frequent in Australia compared to other countries, resulted in only 27 fatalities from 2001 to 2017. Similarly, despite Australia being home to some of the world's most venomous snakes, snake bites typically claim only 2 lives annually on average. Surprisingly, horses, cows, and dogs are responsible for the most animal-related deaths in Australia. Over the past 20 years, horses alone have caused 172 fatalities, mainly due to falls and accidents. Even seemingly harmless native animals like kangaroos and cassowaries can pose risks. Kangaroos may appear adorable, but their powerful kicks can be dangerous, especially when startled or provoked. cassowaries, with their striking appearance, have been known to inflict serious injuries with their sharp claws. So, while Australia's wildlife is undoubtedly fascinating, it's wise to respect and understand the potential risks they pose. By staying informed and cautious, one can safely enjoy Australia's natural wonders without undue concern.